You know, Ruth, I think I have an idea of who is going to be on the 15 minutes.
I do too. I do.
Okay, let's take this background report on digitization, and when we come back, or rather after we come back, Mr. Max Loko will be joining us.
The world is said to be a global village, and the current trend in broadcasting both in Nigeria and the world over is digitization.
Digitization means basically that that same signal, instead of transmitting it as a waveform, we are digitizing it and transmitting it.
The gains of digitization are numerous, as it is characterized by reduced use of spectrum and more capacity than analog, better quality picture and lower operating costs for broadcast and transmission after the initial upgrade costs. However, all sections of the broadcasting value chain, namely transmission, reception and content production, will be affected by digitization.
There's a lot we can gain from digitization. And because you've now digitized the data, you can now do a lot more with that data. You know, you can compress it, and it gives you a better business model with which you can operate. Because of digitization, for example, you can now make people to do subscription TV rather than free air, you know, type of TV. So from that point of view, it gives you a lot more.
The world broadcasting system has been changing from the analog system of broadcasting to digitization. The transition began all over the UK in 2011. It was done region by region, and London finally changed around May 2012. Nigeria had previously set a target for the digitization around June 17 in 2012, but the date was shifted because it was obvious the Nigerian industry could not meet the deadline.
I think the media in Nigeria is not ready right now, given what's on ground in terms of the infrastructure that they have. But is it something they can do? At the end of the day, it's something that gives us a lot more. It places, you know, a lot more on the hands of even users. Users will now have a lot more choice in terms of the channels they have to view and the manner in which they view these channels. The quality of what it also provides is just a lot better.
The new date has been issued by the Nigerian Broadcasting Commission, assuring the whole nation that Nigeria will achieve digitization by December 2017. But the question still remains, how prepared are we for digitization? Indeed, how prepared are we in digitization come 2017 in December? And we have Mr. Maxwell Loko just joined us. He's a managing director, NTA TV Enterprise. Good to have you join us, sir.
Nice being with you again.
All right.
Yeah.
The question again to you.
Yes.
How ready are we come 2017?
Well, incidentally, just yesterday, the Honorable Minister of Information and Culture was in Jos to assess the level of preparedness of the ITS. ITS is the Integrated Television Service that is supposed to give the backbone for the digital transition. It's a national backbone. So the minister was there to see how prepared ITS was, and there was a demonstration because JOS is going to be the first to be switched off by March 30th. That is in a few weeks' time. And I must say he was impressed with what he saw. So he seized the opportunity to address stakeholder meetings, that is the those who are going to be the key participants, like the set-top box manufacturers, the National Broadcasting Commission, the signal distributors, the middleware providers, and so forth. And he said emphatically that government, more than ever before, is ready and committed to the December 2017 deadline. I don't think we can get any more assurance than that. I think this is the first time in the whole digitization process that government came out emphatically to say that we are committed to meeting this deadline. And don't forget, we had failed 3 other deadlines before. deadlines that we have set for ourselves, apart from the ITU's deadline of 17 June 2015.
Okay, so what is the implication if we don't meet up with this new deadline?
Well, it's numerous, because there wouldn't be sanction per se, like people always think, or punishment, but certain situation will arise. First, we will have an obligation to immediately resolve any harmful interference to television signals to our neighboring countries, like Chad, Benin Republic, Cameroon, and which other one now? So, fortunately for us now, these countries too have not transited. But if they do migrate before us, then we have that obligation. Second, we are going to abrogate our right to international broadcasting protection. That means our analog signal will not be protected. Should any country or neighboring country transit and their signal interferes with our analog, that means we are no longer going to be protected. And thirdly, which I think is also very important, is the fact that the greatest beneficiaries of this so-called digital dividend are the telecoms company. Now, we have what you call the National Broadband Plan, which cannot be achieved if the broadcasters now do not vacate the present UHF broadband that we are occupying, which the telecoms need for broadband penetration. Remember, we have only about 0.3 broadband penetration right now in the country, and the short-term plan is to achieve 3.3, the medium-term 5.3, and the long-term 8.3. Okay. That cannot be achieved if we do not transit. So those are some of the basic implications.
Yeah. You know, for this whole talk about digitization, not everybody's familiar with it. Yes. Now, for the common man out there, what really is this digitization? Let's go back to the basics.
Well, going back to the basics, the way we watch TV now is what is called the analog. So what do we expect people to benefit or to enjoy after the transition is the fact that TV will now come to their homes in a crisp, clear manner. You know, the picture will be clearer, the sound will be better, then the viewers will have multiple channels sitting on their set-top boxes, unlike now where they have to fiddle with the remote control looking for one channel, you know, after the other, which may not necessarily be clear. You know, you have this snowy, whatever, you have to be adjusting your antenna and all that. All that we cease. Now, the short-term plan is to have about 32 channels on these set-top boxes that is supposed to interface with the digital signal and our analog, you know, television. So the viewer at home, in the comfort of his home, using a remote control, can enjoy as many as 32 channels coming free of charge, no subscription, and they all come clean, very clean, with audio and sound quality and picture quality.
And incidentally, some viewers actually, you know, share their concern about the end of that if we transit finally to digital broadcasting, that it will mark the end of free television programs.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Don't forget, again, like the telecoms, the greatest beneficiaries again are the viewers at home. Rather than saying it will mark the end, it will add to the freedom. Let's use that word, freedom. Okay. Before now, you could just watch a few free channels. You know, most of the channels you watch these days are from pay TV. But I told you that there will be 32 channels in the short run sitting on these set-top boxes that will come to your homes free. So I don't think that fear of losing that freedom of watching channels without subscription will be over. Rather, you have more channels that will come to you free.
Okay, what about those in the rural areas? What provision has been made for them so that they too can enjoy this change?
Well, there is what we call direct to home that will be used as a gap filler. You know, if the DTT is the digital terrestrial television, which is going to be used specifically for this digital transition.
Okay.
And because it's capital intensive, you cannot situate them in every rural area. So what is going to happen is that there will be a direct-to-home provision. Direct-to-home means you use a satellite,
Okay.
and those rural folks now will have to use dish rather than rooftop antenna. Yeah.
Okay.
So everybody, we are hoping to have maybe 99.9 penetration. You know, we can't say we'll always be 100% perfect,
Yeah.
but if we achieve 90-something%
Okay.
of you know, the digital landscape of Nigeria, that would be a great achievement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and actually we want you to talk about how digital broadcasting will affect production value change, but that will be after this break.
Thank you for staying with us. The show is Weekend Deal, and the discussion is digitization and the deadline of 2017. Mr. Maxwell Loko is still here. Suleiman, you go with the next question.
Before the break, I actually want to know how will the transition to digital terrestrial broadcasting affect production value chain?
Well, you know, we always say that the digital era will be content driven, and that is to say, it is that broadcasting outfit or the channel that gives the most compelling content that will remain competitive. And that means there's going to be a lot of pressure on those producing content. You know, it's not like before where you force down the throat what you produce to the viewers at home. Now you have to produce what they want. And there's going to be a lot of activities in the creative industry, because you can imagine multiple channels sitting down 24/7 that are required to be filled with content. That means those in the creative industry, particularly the content production, are going to become very busy, and I think it's going to be their era really, because they have to fill all these channels with content. There's going to be high demand for content. So I see the production value chain in the whole, you know, the digital era to be the most active, and that's why we keep saying that content is king and content is key.
Yes.
And for us to be successful and say, look, we have digitized and viewers at home are enjoying the benefit of digitization, we must be able to give them compelling content. And that means for that to be possible, there will be a lot of activities happening in the production side of the process.
Okay, and NTA, of course, is the largest TV network.
Yeah.
So what role has NTA got to play in digitization?
NTA, as a matter of fact, now I would say it's providing the backbone. Like I said, the minister was there yesterday at the NTA Just Network Center. And don't forget the ITS. Again, for those who don't know what ITS is the Integrated Television Services, the signal distributor that is being formed out of the NTA is providing the backbone. And the implication is that NTA is providing its infrastructure and facilities for the takeoff. And, you know, when we use the NTA's infrastructure and facilities across the country, which no any other television station has, I can bet you NTA, it's more than ready, because the facilities are there. The company that should do that has started test transmission, as it were, yesterday. There was a demonstration, and no any other signal provider amongst those who have been licensed is this ready. So NTA is playing a key role.
Okay.
And again, don't forget our partnership, you know, with the Star Times, which in itself is a process of digitization.
Yes.
It's been 5 years since we started this joint venture, and it has been 5 years of digital penetration. Star Times is in about 56 cities of Nigeria. But the difference really is that Star Times is a pay digital terrestrial TV. But what is coming soon through the ITS will be the Freeview. That is a free-to-air digital television.
And you know,
TV.
Mr. Loko, I know this question will be in a lot of Nigerians, their minds.
Yeah.
Like, how affordable would this set boxes be? You know, set-top boxes.
Yeah, set-top boxes.
Yes.
It's going to be very affordable.
Okay.
Any person who can afford a television should be able to afford a set-top box.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I don't want to be very specific with figures now, but I can bet you it's less than your 1 month minimum bouquet pay TV subscription fee. And this is a device that you're going to have sitting at home forever. And if it costs you less than 5,000, maybe 4,000 or even 3,000, I understand it may, with government subsidy, come down as low as 2,005. I mean, you know, for crying out loud, I think that should be affordable. If you look at the value this device is going to give you, vis-a-vis the cost, I think it's affordable. I don't know for how long that subsidy will go on, but even if it doesn't go on, I don't think it's going to be more than anything 4,000. Okay. 3,005, 4,000.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much for talking to us about this whole issue, because it's really, really the way to go. Yes. And of course, it will provide job opportunities for a lot of people out there. Thank you very much, Mr. Maxwell Loko, for talking to us about this issue. Well, let's take our first, I mean, it should have been our first guest, really, but our first guest artist is ready for us.